Thursday, June 15th, and the dogs and I are walking on the Cataraqui Trail west of Yarker. It's 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's a beautiful day now, sunny with scattered clouds and 25 centigrade degrees. Not much wind to speak of. We're doing a dual job today. We're coming over here for a walk, but mainly because I'm picking up one of our old push lawnmowers that we're having repaired at a local business over this way, so I figured I'd work in a dog walk at the same time. Since it's about half hour from our house, might as well do something else while we're over here. Well, I just happened to spot a nice olive hairstreak butterfly. It was just feeding on some daisies along the trail here. And this is certainly the time in early to mid-June when you typically see them in these alvar-like situations. So that was really nice to see. I haven't seen one for a few years. I can't remember the exact last time I saw one, but when I used to do work on the alvars, I would see them usually every year, but I'm not on the alvars all the time anymore, so chances of seeing them are far less, so it's nice to see it. It's one of the few butterflies that actually is a greenish color. I've run into a few more olive hairstreaks here feeding on these daisies. I guess they've just come out today or something. This one here has already been caught by a crab spider, unfortunately. You can see the yellow crab spider here. This guy up here is feeding peacefully. The closer I looked at the olive hairstreaks there, I found two that were caught by crab spiders. Only one of the group was still free and flying around. They seem to be quite numerous along the trail here. I just see another one now. The clouds are increasing, which is actually a good thing, because when the sun is out on you directly on this trail, it gets very hot and burning feeling. So yeah, I've been finding a few more olive hairstreaks along the trail here, which is really nice to see. They must have had a brood that just came out to be so numerous. Part of it too is that there's not a huge amount of flowers right now, so they're really restricted as to where they can feed. So far they've all been found feeding on daisies, but I know they also like yarrow and a few other plants that are commonly found around here. Well, there's the sun again. It does feel nice for a short while, and then it starts to get a little hot on the skin, but there's still quite a few clouds around, so I imagine it'll be gone again before too long. Certainly a far better time to be out than a week or so ago when we were dealing with all that heavy smoke for 2 or 3 days. That was quite miserable. So we're just approaching Curl Road here at about 2:20. I'm gonna go down the road a bit to the creek, let the dogs have a swim because it is quite warm, and then we'll head back. That better, Luna? Is that cooler now? They are calling for about a 60% chance of showers or thunderstorms late this afternoon. I don't see any showing up on the radar right now, but some of these clouds are starting to look a little thick and dark. Nothing immediately threatening, I don't think, but have to watch it later on. I just got a few more decent photos and little video clips of the olive hairstreaks. They're very active along here today. I think I've seen more today than I ever saw at one time in my life. Definitely today is the biggest day for those. Even when I worked on the Alvars, I think the most I saw were maybe 2 or 3 on any given day. I think I've seen about 7 or 8 today. So the olive hairstreak is also known as the juniper hairstreak, and that relates to one of its caterpillar's primary food sources, red cedar, and a few other juniper type trees. On this section of the Cataraqui Trail, we have red cedar savannas and forests on each side of the trail, so it's a good habitat. There are small field openings scattered along here as well, which allows some other nectaring plants to occur, like the daisies and yarrow and other species that are flowering, buttercups, things like that. So the habitat here is suitable for the reproduction and feeding of adult olive hairstreaks or juniper hairstreaks. And They lay their eggs on these trees, as I mentioned, so the caterpillars feed on the junipers. And then they go into a chrysalis, which overwinters out here in the harsh winter conditions. And then they stay like that until about this time of year when they hatch out as full-fledged butterflies once again and reproduce the cycle. And here we are at about 3:35 or so, and back at the parking lot. End of a nice walk, and nice to see those Juniper Hairstreaks or olive Hairstreaks feeding in such numbers. Being able to get some decent photos of them, hopefully.